Well, hey again, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing very well out there, and I figure I owed you guys an update after the last one was very much left in a very open-ended type of way where I was not feeling my best, and I didn't feel like I could really do the things I needed to do because I was all kind of fucked up and all that type of shit, and, well, things are better now. Took a long way to get there, much longer than I anticipated and much longer than it should have taken, but we got there. And first off, we got new commentaries. Steve and I already released one for Urban Legend from 1998. And our second one is I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is coming out this weekend. So we're hitting that off for July 4th because that's when the film takes place. And we figured, what the hell, why not? Who cares? So that'll be coming up very shortly, so you get a nice 1-2 punch of 90s slasher stuff. And we got some other stuff coming up in the near future. But of course, it was the whole thing of me trying to get another video, me in front of the camera, doing something, retro video series or movie review, something like that. Get myself corrected and get things on a good track. The first thing I did was getting rid of these goddamn caffeine tablets I was doing since the beginning of the year. Because after I had my health crisis and stuff like that, and things were all on weird levels, I found myself very drained. I didn't have a lot of energy, so I started taking these caffeine pills when I got out of the hospital and started things weren't quite getting on my palate in a certain way. So it's like I was relying much more on the caffeine tablets to bolster my energy throughout the day. But recently it just got too much to a point where it's like, well, I would take them at a certain point in time in the day and they would last a lot longer than what they're supposed to. So it's like they were screwing me all up with sleep, not getting, get to sleep at night and various other things. So it's like I just stopped using them altogether. I'm just fine. So one thing, don't abuse those in any type of way possible. Be very careful of using those. They could screw you up real bad. So just in terms of like your body chemistry and all that type of stuff, reacts to things in different ways, and it's just not good. So I got everything kind of sorted out after the first week in terms of like getting myself fresh and feeling positive about myself, not being all in weird moods. But then I started trying to get into the first video I tried to do with, which was the Star Trek Generations video. And the problem was, I started shooting this thing. I shot like 48 minutes of like raw footage, and there was only like the first 2/3 of what I need to do for the video. I was like, this is way out of control. I can't keep going forward on this video. It's way off the rails. I had to shut it down. This is gonna fucking work. I gotta shut down and reassess things, and I tried to amp myself up for something else, and it didn't end up working. I got part way through doing something in the preparation. It just like things just weren't working well in terms of me being motivated to keep going with it. So things flatlined on that. But ultimately, I decided, okay, this is going to have to work out because I already talked about it before. I was going to do it because we got the entire thing that we got the Australian version of Fire in the Sky on Blu-ray, which had bonus features that were not going to be on the Screen Factory version, but a much more data transfer. Well, since things delayed enough and kept waiting around and stuff like that, I did get the Screen Factory version, so I have both versions. And so the video is up on Patreon now. I got the whole thing done in about 5 days. I shot it on Saturday, got done today on Wednesday. It's up on Patreon. It'll be out publicly on Friday. So it's done. So I was like, I had to get the extras. I had to get the news transfer off of this thing. There's certain other things in terms of special features that are mentioned in the video. So if you want to go on that, also documented on the Patreon exclusive post. So there's certain differences in the bonus features, stuff like that. Certain things were trimmed, some things were extended. Some things were trimmed on the Screen Factory ones, some other things were extended on the Screen Factory ones, and so on and so forth. But I got everything possible to really go into everything, shoot the video, get all that stuff done, and got it edited and done, all that type of stuff. So it's available now. So in a couple of days, you'll be able to watch on YouTube properly. Or if you want to contribute to the entire channel, you can go up on Patreon and contribute there. Or any video whatsoever on the channel now, you can contribute and support things through the Super Thanks feature, which means you can donate whatever dollar amount you choose, and we just get about 70% of that through YouTube. So that's a great way, easy, no real problems that way. So any which way you contribute, a lot more options now, and we definitely appreciate anything that you guys do around here to support us on the channel. So that's done, and there's some other things in the pickups that we have to talk about. They're basically like almost all things that are coming up on the slate here. And so, some of the things, one thing a lot of people have been asking about lately. Because we coasted past it. Steve watched the film. I decided to kind of curse it off because everything I heard about it sounded like fucking shit. I didn't want to waste my time on it, but enough people have been asking about it. And they got the other sequel coming up later in the year, so we pretty much put it on the schedule for October. We'll do Halloween fucking Kills. I haven't watched it yet. It was on sale at Best Buy. I figure I'll just grab the standard Blu-ray version, not getting the 4K on this. I'm going to spend another $1 for the 4K, but I said, fuck it, I don't care. I think this movie's already shit before I'm even watching it. I'm not going to pay extra for 4K. It's fine. Whatever. I'll see about this. I'll watch it eventually, and we'll get into it and talk all the things right before Halloween Kills hits all the theaters and all the other shit. So we'll get around to it in October when the fervor is high to talk about the new one. We'll get some kind of spread around links and whatever the case is. People will be hot for it. People will be typing stuff on search engines and hot hashtags, stuff like that. It'll fit in. And then we'll eventually get around to whatever the hell they got going on in this last film. Who knows? So, haven't watched it yet, but we'll get around to it eventually. And I think I did mention it in one of the previous updates that I did grab up the new Scream film. I did watch it. It was like on discount on Prime Video, and I watched it. Then I eventually grabbed the disc the same day. That is coming up as the next commentary for July. So I'm gonna probably sit down, rewatch everything to form a full, strong opinion where the thing lands in the franchise, sort of a ranking, how I feel about it, because I'm just kind of okay about it. I don't really have much to really say about it right now, so I need to reassess, rewatch, get everything in line there so I can really discuss things in a very in-depth fashion. So, I'll be coming up there. We'll have some other things going on after that, of course. But one of the things, after I did the last update, I was talking about, I threw on Batman Begins on the streaming service, and things... It was kind of okay, and I was kind of liking it better than I thought memory served it for myself and all these other weird types of things. So, Steve made a post on the comment section, and he said something in regards to the whole thing, and, well, there you go. We got the fucking Dark Knight trilogy on 4K. The commentaries will come. We don't know when. We have to talk about it, figure out where it lands in the schedule, because we've got a lot of things on the schedule right now. But we'll sort it out, figure out where these things go. And this is, again, 4K with Blu-ray. There was no digital copy on this one. I got it off of eBay. I was a little disappointed. But apparently there's two different, like, UPCs going around. One that's this one. One that I think was released a little bit earlier that did have the digital codes. But I guess Warner Brothers just reissued it without the codes. And that's kind of unfortunate. Just like I'm just used to getting my 4Ks with a digital code when they're not like a Scream Factory or something, but whatever. I got discs. So, Begins, Dark Knight, and Rises, and all that type of stuff, because none of us have a very good opinion of the third film, but Steve felt it might be very cathartic to go through the whole thing as a commentary and just whatever happens. So, once we figure out where it lands in the schedule, we don't have a lot of openings right now, but we'll figure it out and inform you guys when it hits on that type of thing. So, there it goes. We got that. And there's a couple of Star Trek things. I mentioned some Star Trek stuff before. I left something back here. Because when I was getting into the Regenerations video, it's like I was kept trying to get myself in the whole thing, and I was like, the first time I watched it, I didn't get a lot of notes down. Maybe I was still a little tired. I didn't, whatnot. I had to watch the film multiple times. I kept watching this fucking Blu-ray copy with all the DNR on it, and just like, this thing, I can't watch this thing anymore. It looks bad. This is really, really fucking bad. And so I was like, fucking sitting here watching this, like, okay, I was going to give it this was the last shot I gave it before I actually went in and shot it, and the thing got way off track and everything like that. But basically what I'm saying is, like, I reacquired the Special Collector's Edition DVD version, which is like, man, I like the transfer on this thing a lot better, even though it's just standard def. But I like the colors on it. It looked a lot brighter. It just had a much more pleasing image to it. But right now. I've kind of teased it. Like I wrote up notes for a Blu-ray news video last week. But everything was like, this thing's undated. There's no special features announced for it. It's like most of the things on the list is like, there's nothing to talk about. It's like, okay, they announced this title. I don't know what else to say about it because there's no features, there's no date, there's no nothing. So it's like, well, maybe I'll put this on pause and wait a little while for some other things to drop with a press release. Specifically, the entire thing with the Star Trek films coming out on 4K. Because the first 6 films are now, like, we've gotten the first 4 films, 5 and 6 are already announced. More or less. It's like we haven't gotten a press release. That's the main thing. Retailers have listed on their sites. We've got cover art. We just don't know what the details are. We don't know what this giant 15-disc box set's going to be. And, of course, like I said before, First Contact streaming in 4K on Paramount Plus, which means they're working on the next-gen film. So how soon that's going to come around, we don't know yet. So it's like, I've been waiting like a week for them to drop a goddamn press release. I mean, I've been waiting since the last update, which was like 3 weeks ago. So it's like, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like, drop a damn press release so I could talk about it and get on with this thing. So it's like, I'm still itching to do Generations. I still am. It's still swirling around in my head to do it. I'm not saying I'm doing it next, but I'm trying to pull myself back from doing it next because I'm waiting for an announcement on these freaking 4K Blu-rays. Let me know when they're hitting. If Generation's going to hit in September with the rest of them, maybe I'll push it off to then. If it's going to be longer, maybe I won't wait as long. But I'm just trying to find out because all this other shit. When I eventually do a Blu-rays new video, that will come up. But as I mentioned last time, I kind of filled out the rest of my fan collective or just Star Trek collective sets I got on DVD. It's right before I decided to drop the money on the Voyager Complete Series set. But so it makes it a little redundant here and there, but I grabbed the one for the board because, like, I've been passing this up for fucking years. I've seen it on resale shops all over the place. This one had for $6.99, which is a nice price. So it's like, it's got all of the Borg, not all the Borg episodes, just kind of like the ones fans voted on to be included with this collection. Most of them now I have, in terms of, like, I have all the TNG Blu-rays. I've got all Voyager now, and there's not really anything aside from the Enterprise episode, but there's some audio commentaries and a few other extra things on here, so it makes it a little bit worthwhile. For $6.99, it's not much of a regret on that regard, so there's still something to get off on that regard. So it's all right. It's fine. If I ever want to just binge the Borg episodes, I can just throw this on and just kind of get into some stuff with Voyager, all that type of stuff here and there. But also decided to finally, this is the last one I had to get. I had all the other ones now, so I grabbed a Captain's Log off of eBay, which is like, they had like each one of the actors that portrayed the captains and everything through Enterprise. They made a pick of which one was their favorite episodes that they had fans vote on, like the favorite episodes of each captain. So kind of a nice gimmick they put together there. So they had a few extra featurettes on this thing. I think they had introductions for each one of the actors on the whole thing. So nice additional thing to grab. I think it was a kind of a nice thing to add into the entire mix of the entire idea here. So it's like, complete the collection. It's fine. It's kind of nice. So it's kind of a cool, decent thing. And on these things, I had these nice kind of hollow foil covers that look kind of neato. And also on the back, too. And all the slim cases for the DVDs and everything. So it's just a nice extra added thing on top of that. And when I was going through Batman Begins stuff, I dug out this collectible lithograph I had. I don't know where the fuck I got it from. It might have been when I bought the DVD, because I had this special edition DVD that had like a mini comic in it and stuff like that. Sold it off a couple years ago, but it's like, it was nice to bring it back out and kind of display it around the room and stuff like that. So it's kind of a nice type of thing. People are selling this all over the place on eBay anyway, so you can grab it if you want to, but they're probably charging a fair amount of price for it. But last pickup I had. This is when I was going out looking for the next Generations DVD, which I found at the same place I found this. And I was also looking for like the Generations Laserdisc, which I did find at a half-price books, but it was like $20. And I already paid money for this, so it's like, now I put the Laserdisc back and just kept with the DVD, but it's like, I found this. Now, I already have Star Wars on Laserdisc, but not this one. Because I was flipping through the goddamn bins like living hell, because they got a ton of them over here at the disc replay we have. And I had to double take. I was like, wait, I flipped past it because it's the same cover of the one I already had. I was like, wait a second, I got to check. Does it say Fox Video on it? It does say Fox Video. And does it say Made in the USA? It does say that. So I had to bring up a video. Cool ass freaking Sam Hatch, Culture Dog. Check him out. He did a video on this pressing of Star Wars on Laserdisc. I had to go in and check all the details. I was like, yeah, the Fox Video logo, Made in the USA on the jacket. Then I had to open it up and check the laser-etched mint marks on the center of the freaking disc. Does it say Technodisc on it? It does. And I was fucking giddy as shit, man. Because the Technodisc one is the one you want. If you can't get the special collection ones from Japan, this is what you want. And it's not easy to find. And a lot of people don't even know about it, to even tell you about it. Because this thing, short and sweet, the original widescreen Laserdisc in the US had a problem with the aspect ratio where the thing kind of just kept closing in on itself as the picture went along. Because they had certain framing issues when they were trying to take the master from the Japanese one and mask off the subtitles from the Japanese subtitles. And so there was a problem on that. But eventually when Technodisc got this, right at the end before the definitive collection came around, they did a new master, new transfer, and it looks wonderful. So much better. Just like absolutely wonderful. And the fact is, I've got a whole freaking list here. I've got the entire list of the history of Star Wars on home video. From the beginning of VHX and Betamax up through the definitive collection. Which means I'm planning to do a video on this whole thing. It's not exactly how I wanted to go about it, because I did want to acquire the special collection Laserdiscs from Japan, but they're very expensive. If you want to find 3 of them, you're going to pay over $100 for these damn things. If you go try and grab a seller from Japan, which might have a decent price, you're still going to get killed on the shipping because they got to send it over internationally, or it's on a boat or a plane. They're going to charge you a lot of money because that's just the fact of the matter. So it's like I kept putting the whole thing up because I wanted to start at the beginning of where the widescreen Laserdisc thing began. So it's like that would be start there and move forward on the Laserdisc thing. So it's like I kept looking. I still have the freaking alert on my phone now. I still have it on the fucking eBay thing to kind of alert me when the things come up. But they're always expensive. They're just too expensive for me right now to grab. So it's like, fuck. It's just like, well, since I got this, and like, well, at least I can do the U.S. ones. Because I've got this. I've got the CBS Fox widescreen ones of all 3 of them. I got the freaking special edition box set. I could do it. I can do at least those sections of the whole thing. So it's planned out. It's going to happen. Might happen this weekend. I'm not entirely certain. We'll see what happens when I get to the weekend. But it's one of the plans I have going forward right now. Now, I've been posting about having certain problems in terms of like, I was trying to do the Laserdisc, the Retro Video Series episode for Ransom, the extended version on Laserdisc. Now, what I was going to do, I was going to set the thing up where I could watch the video on the Laserdisc and transfer it and capture it at the same time onto the computer. Now, this happens because I can take my old Radio Shack switch box over here because it's got an S video out and a composite video out. I can just take the 2 different cables. One goes into the TV, one thing goes in the computer. Well, the entire thing with the USB capture device was sending some kind of electronic interference signal back through the whole thing, back through the entire course of everything. So it's like it was creating this sort of rolling banding image with like these rolling things that go right up the screen. Screwing the whole thing up, I can't capture it that way. It's going to screw everything up. It'll piss me off. So I couldn't do it that way. I swear I've done it before. I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't do it cleanly. So it's like I had to do a couple of captures of the Laserdisc. I started capturing like the first 2 sides of the Laserdisc. So to do the final side. But regardless of that, I just like, okay, well, I'll just have to disconnect all that shit and just do directly into the computer and nothing else. And it worked fine. Which is the fact that if I'm going to do the thing with ransomware, I have to watch the extended version, then I have to capture the extended version. That's like 4.5 hours of stuff I have to sit through before I can start producing anything. So it's just a little frustrating in that regard. Working out workflows. So I tried so many different options. I got a different switch box. It didn't make a difference. I got one that was AC adapter powered. It didn't make a difference. I tried looking up different things, different options. I asked my friend Oliver Harper what he does, because I also want to upgrade the goddamn OS on the goddamn computer, but I can't do it because all the software for the capture stuff works on much older software that is not compatible with the newer Mac OSs. So it's like, oh, you got to do something into some kind of HDMI capture thing and do it into a whole bunch of random fucking shit. It wasn't very easy for him, is what he's basically telling me. It's a little bit more complicated. So it's like, shit here and there and everything. So I got to take further time to figure things out because I'm a lot of OSs behind the curve. I really want to update. If I got all these old-ass fucking video software in this whole thing for capturing and fucking converting stuff, I gotta spend some money to update some shit and figure other things out, so he's bugging me to update the goddamn OS all the time, so that stuff's buggy. All this old technology is not very good, but it's necessary because you got all this stuff, like these fucking movies, on all the fucking formats, that you need this stuff to be able to transfer it and do all these videos for it. That's all I got. That's all I gotta keep doing. So it's complicated. I got to figure these things out. But like I said, I already captured the first two sides of this one. I got to get the third one captured. I already captured the first two sides of the other Star Wars Laserdisc. So I got a couple other things to do in terms of that, in terms of the prep to get all the video footage ported over. Good thing is I already started doing, because I had the entire thing where I was going to do this video on 7 and how all the color grading keeps shifting from release to release. I was already expanding the idea to cover different films as examples of the different ways of how, like, director-approved versions or studio mingled up versions of color grading and stuff like that. I already started capturing select footage from, like, my THX limited edition DVDs that have the definitive collection version transfers on them. I already was ripping stuff from the 2004 DVDs. I was already ripping stuff from the new Blu-rays and stuff like that. So I was already grabbing footage as it was. So I was like, I already have multiple versions of these films in some piecemealed way, ripped from disc and whatnot. So I already have partial setup for the entire thing. So it's already been a process over the last bit of time now to get this thing prepped. So I gotta get in a Star Wars headspace and get things going in that regard, because I gotta get things moving on that regard. So I'm gonna try to move forward with that next. So all that type of stuff. So as you see, it's been a little wild and crazy. So I'm going to be focusing on that. This thing looks absolutely wonderful. It's not. I was looking up stuff from 4K 77, that theatrical print restoration that's been going on for some time. It's been out for some time. I haven't really watched it. I looked at some stills, some clips here and there, and it's like, even though this is a new transfer, it looks a lot better. It still doesn't seem like it accurately reflects the original theatrical experience. We'll see where that goes in the entire discussion of the thing. So that's a whole thing that I need to research and find a way to compartmentalize things. Like I said, I got notes now. I have things to cover, because not like I'm talking about everything on this list, but I at least need a guide to know where things land, and just at least have a summary of the VHS, Laserdisc, and the fucking all of the shit. So things are organizing where I wasn't organized weeks ago trying to do shit. I'm trying to prep. I'm in a good headspace. Move things forward. It's a little tired earlier because fucking had landscapers outside at the beginning of the day and weed whacking and woke me up 2 hours early. It was like, oh, this is gonna fuck me up the whole day. Thankfully, I got the Fire in the Sky video perfectly wrapped up and edited, all that type of stuff. I was happy about that. It was like, in the evening, it's like, I don't want to do shit. I don't feel like doing anything. And I was like, well, like I said, I felt like I owed you guys an update to get things back up on the levels here, to get you guys caught up. Because a couple of people kind of look at the community tab here on YouTube and stuff like that to see what I'm doing and prepping and moving forward on certain things. Hundreds of you look at these videos and stuff like that and are not involved with that. You need to know what's going on and get you up on the high end of different things. So, after all this rambling and stuff like that, that's what's going on. So, give me a second here. Urban Legend Commentary out now. I know what you did last summer. Commentary coming up this weekend. I have the July 4th Independence Day type of thing. Fire in the Sky will be hitting on Friday, publicly on YouTube. If you can go up further, sooner on it, go up on Patreon. Like I said, there's always a super thanks thing. Anything you watch here that you want to contribute for, that you enjoy, just hit up the super thanks thing on the entire video and do whatever you like. And like I said, after these two commentaries we're releasing this week, the new Scream film will come up next month. And the other thing we got coming up next month, we will be covering Speed. Keanu Reeves and all that type of stuff. I've had the 4K Blu-ray since they released it. I think it was about a year or two ago. I think it was about 2 years ago. I don't know. It's been sitting myself. I haven't watched the damn thing. But Steve bought the 4K recently, so he's going to be up on that. I'm going to be up on it soon. So I had this up on the schedule for a while. It was like we felt like this has to be a summer movie we cover. It has to be covered in the summer in that time. So we got up on that. We haven't done. I don't think we've done a commentary. We did Point Break. That's the only Keanu film we've done so far as a commentary. Obviously, I've reviewed a few things, and there'll be more things in the future. But regards to that, so that's where we're up to now. And then August, we'll get back to Little Stephen King, and then September, October, lots of Stephen King. Lots of King. Some prime King stuff. Leave it at that. So, guys, thanks so much. We got all these different things going on, and that's all we can talk about right now. So, thanks so much, guys. As always, thanks for your patience and your understanding and your support. It's great, and it's going better. So, thanks much. Take care. Bye-bye.